Good afternoon to all. Respected Professor Indrajit Prasad Roy sir, our chairperson of the event and our principal. Respected Binod Jha sir, our IQC coordinator. Respected Vinay sir, our IDC convener. Respected senior colleagues, friends and dear students. I, Amar Kumar, convener of this event along with our team, Mr. Vipin Nautiyal, Dr. Hina Rani, Dr. Sushovan Paladi and other colleagues. On the behalf of ANS College Bar family, would like to welcome all the distinguished participants, more than 1,000 of them from all parts of India and across disciplines,
हेलो
and especially our guest
हाँ हाँ ऑन कर दीजिए
and speaker of the day, Dr.
प्ले कर
Aditya
दीजिए
Tripathi sir, to this wonderful webinar on this very important topic, redefining the need of insurance and financial management amid COVID-19. We are all aware of COVID-19 pandemic and the set of challenges it has brought with it. The world has changed completely. Our working culture, our priorities, how do we meet and greet each other has changed completely. Our way of education especially has seen a completely drastic change as we go towards online teaching.
कितने लोग ये सारा आपको मैं एडमिट कर चुका हूँ
Vipin, please mute all.
परमिट किए हैं आप रैक उनको
There's noise behind.
चलो you continue.
Just a minute.
kindly proceed
As I was saying, our way of education has seen a completely change during this time of COVID-19. From the as we move on towards this online teaching mode, the onus of learning has shifted more towards the students, the pupil, than to the teachers. From the person who is imparting instructions than to the person who wants to learn. These are being discussed at various levels and platforms. However, one thing which we felt that was a bit missing in these discussions was that how one should prepare for the worst case scenario if suppose COVID-19 struck in one's house. Because what I feel is that we have another role to play apart from being a teacher, that is we are also a family person. We have to play a role as a father, as a brother, as a guardian who has care the responsibility of his family and the ones who are around him. So, what can be done if suppose we are faced with this COVID-19 pandemic in our house? Will I be totally dependent on the government machineries to get the best care, or I should prepare myself, and if so, how to do so? In this context, the role of insurance gains importance as it lets you to live a life of dignity and to have access to the best medical facilities. Actually, it gives you a social security option. This ensuing discussion on this topic led us to two main things. First, that it is one of the common question of many of our colleagues, especially like me, who has just got a job and who does not have a big bank balance with him. Second, instead of scratching our heads and asking here and there, so why not to ask an expert? Today we feel fortunate that amongst us we have such an expert, Dr. Aditya Tripathi sir. Aditya Tripathi sir teaches commerce at Shamlal College, Evening, University of Delhi. During his university days, he was a gold medalist in his post-graduation and also holds a PhD in commerce with focus on quality perception. He has now over 15 years of teaching experience, having worked with apex institutions like DSPSR, Delhi, and Board of Studies, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, New Delhi. Currently, as I previously said, he is working as Assistant Professor Senior Grade at Department of Commerce, Shyamlal College, Evening, University of Delhi. He is also the coordinator IQAC at SLC Evening since 2016, and under his coordinatorship, the institution
Amar,
अमर जी
म्यूट हो गया क्या?
okay, I think Amar ji is out of network.
anyway,
Let me pass this to our IQ coordinator, Dr. Jha sir, to continue this session. Jha sir.
good afternoon, each and every person who have assembled here. It is very honorable to find all of you here. Now, since all the things have been already narrated by our esteemed colleague Amar Kumar, that's why I'm not taking much more of your time. I'm just coming to the main point. First of all, we are in the process of getting the vaccination of COVID. कोविड का वैक्सीनेशन कुछ दिनों में बन जाएगा, लेकिन इसका जो आफ्टर इम्पैक्ट है ये इकोनॉमी पे, और उस इकोनॉमी से जो हमारा स्टेट, सोसाइटी और इंडिविजुअल जो इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं, उसके लिए क्या किया जाए. That's why I had a talk with just like my younger brother Aditya Tripathi, and he has suggested me this topic. So now we are just going to have him within a few minutes. And before that, I am handing over the baton to our principal, Professor Aditya Prasad Roy ji. Principal, sir.
Good afternoon to all. This first webinar of this college has been organized during COVID-19 period under the aegis of IQSC, NS College Bar, under the umbrella of Patliputra University, Patna. All credit goes to Dr. Vinod Kumar Jha, IQSC coordinator and head of the Department of Political Science, to organize this webinar with his team, convener Dr. Amar Kumar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Joint Convener Mr. Bipin Nautiyal, Assistant Professor, Department of Philosophy, and Organizing Secretary Dr. Hina Rani, Head of the Department of Philosophy, and Dr. Sushobhan Paladhi, Head of the Department of Chemistry, and Technical Committee members, Mr. Prateek Kumar, Department of Psychology, Dr. Rajneesh Kumar, Head of the Department of Physics, Dr. Anuj Kumar, Deepak Kumar, and Shalini Barla. As advisor, Professor Vinay Kumar, Dr. Ajit Kumar, and Dr. Satyendra Jha. I am very much thankful and grateful with my colleagues to Dr. Aditya P. Tripathi, an eminent scholar of commerce, Shyamlal College, University of Delhi, for giving his costly time for this webinar topic, redefining the need of insurance and financial management amidst COVID-19. This is most immediate demand of a post-COVID developing world, one needs to go to basics and make sure that we have a sound financial plan in place. The employees of government sector and organized sector has life coverage of insurance for their dependents, but in unorganized sector and farmers, it has not any financial support from any financial institutions like insurance coverage for their immediate needs during and after pandemic COVID-19. Therefore, it requires redefining the needs of insurance and financial management. At last, but not least, I am very much thankful to all registered members attending this webinar, having very much interest. They registered themselves in a very short period after declaration of this webinar. Now, being a student of commerce, I would like to give something on insurance sector. As we know, insurance, we divide it in 4 types. First, life insurance. Second, fire insurance. Third, marine insurance. And fourth, others. In others, there are so many insurance coverage like burglary and house breaking insurance, motor insurance, computer insurance, television insurance, machinery insurance, household insurance, shopkeeper insurance, personal accident, Janta personal accident insurance, road safety insurance, cattle insurance, agriculture pump set insurance, universal health insurance, money in transit insurance, crop insurance for farmers. As life coverage, there is only big giant life insurance corporation in India. This company is in a government sector, and some other companies are also in this field that are private companies like Reliance Life Insurance, ICICI Prudential Life, Birla Life. I want to say something about life insurance. Actually, it was established by an Act of Parliament in 1956. It gives financial services. It was started on 1st September 1956. Its products in life insurance, health insurance, investment management, and mutual fund. I want some financial achievement of this company. Revenue rupees 3,37,000 crore in 2019. Operating income rupees 32,241 crore. Net income of this company is 29,956 crores. Total assets 31,11,847 crore in the year 2019. In US dollar 440 billion. As of 2019, LIC had total life fund of rupees 28.3 trillion. The total value of sold policies in the year 2018-19 is rupees 21.4 million. LIC settled 26 million claims in 2018-19. It has 290 million policy holders. I think this is enough for me. Our expert is Dr. Tripathi. He will give a detail. So I hand over IQAC coordinator Dr. Vinod Kumar Jha for next program. Thank you.
Please unmute me. Unmute me. Hello. Unmute करो.
हाँ सर, you are unmuted.
हाँ. Unmute. मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ sir, you have to unmute. हाँ.
Oh, okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Principal Sir, for your illuminating statistical information. That was really very enthralling as well as and beneficial to all the commerce students. Now, not taking much more of time. अब मैं अपने छोटे भाई आदित्य त्रिपाठी को बुला रहा हूँ, और इसलिए बुला रहा हूँ क्योंकि ये मेरा छोटा भाई है, इसलिए नहीं, इसको मैं 5-10 दफा पहले भी सुन चुका हूँ दिल्ली में डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म पे। उसी समय मेरे मन में आया था कि इससे बुलवाऊंगा कभी अपने यहाँ, तो इसलिए नाउ प्लीज वेलकम आदित्य त्रिपाठी। थैंक यू आदित्य। Now it's all yours.
Thank you so much, sir, for your loving speech, and it's all your love and affection that you are speaking so high about me. At the very outset, I thank respected principal, sir, Dr. Professor Indrajit Prasad Rai, IQAC coordinator, and my elder brother, Professor Vinod Jha, sir, convener of this program, Dr. Amar Kumar ji, joint convener, Mr. Vipin Notial Sahab, organizing secretary, Dr. Hina Rani, Dr. Shushoban Paladi, advisory committee members, respected professors, senior professors, colleagues, my elder brother, Dr. Pramod Kumar sir, who is also here in this particular lecture, he is present here. Dr. Pramod Kumar sir, my elder brother and my guide, friend, philosopher, everything. Vinod Jha sir, and other participants and my dear students. Basically, when this topic came to my mind, when Vinod Jha sir gave me a call that Aditya, I want you to have some discussion on this particular topic, something which is related to COVID-19, that amid this uncertainty, amid this kind of global crisis, when people are getting depressive, when they are worried about their finances, how to manage with it. And apart from it, how to help our faculty members who have actually recently joined into the university system, who have recently entered, or even those who are very much senior into the system, how to plan their finances. Honestly speaking, let me tell you, most of us, initially, we don't plan for our financial matters. What we think that Almighty is there to take care of everything. Obviously, Almighty is there. We cannot go, against or ahead of Almighty. There are so many things which are destined to happen. So destiny is having everything into store for us. But we cannot stop doing anything by simply saying that God is there to help us or God is going to do everything. See, even for God to help us, we need to do some karma, because we believe into Srimad Bhagavad Gita and karmaneva adhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana. So we need to at least put some efforts to plan our investment. I'll actually be being very practical while speaking about the investment plan. I'll not discuss any theorem, any theory, any definition, any history, any historical data about the investment. I'll simply tell the way COVID-19 is one of the crises. we are supposed to be prepared for. We are supposed to be prepared for any such crisis which we may come across in future. Most of the people in teaching fraternity, they join little late. Normally, if you are doing your post graduation, then PhD, then you qualify in it. So by the time you enter into this profession, you are already 35 or so. In Delhi University setup, there was a time when not less than 45 people were joining university system. They were getting a permanent job in the age group of say 45 to 50. So it is too late for them to plan. But the question comes whether we will be crying over the split milk that no, we cannot plan, or we should try to, manage with the situations, whatever is coming to us. So I'll first be starting with the need based. What investment plan do I need? What kind of planning do I require? With that, I'll be starting and I'll be very brief into my discussion. I would like you all to first, have my say, and then you can raise n number of questions which you have in your mind. So I'll first be starting with a very small presentation of mine, which is going to tell you about the investment plan, the way we have to plan our investment. Can I have the right to share my screen, because the host has not given me that right, so that I can share my screen. I would request the host to kindly give me the right to share the screen. So by the time they are giving me this right, so let me tell you the way we have to plan. We have different types of requirement in different life. When we start a career, our requirement is something else. When we have our kids, our requirement changes. When the kids are growing, young, then the requirement is something else. Later on, we are worried about their education. Then after that, we are worried about their marriage. And later on, once we retire, we actually want to understand that how to plan for our finances, right? So with this understanding, in mind, different types of requirement, I have crafted my lecture, or you can say discussion, in this way, that I'll be redefining the need of insurance and financial management amid COVID-19. See, COVID-19 is only a symbol. It's a symbolic crisis. We can come across a number of crises, the kind of global change we are witnessing right now. You must be witnessing that even the institutions like WHO, they have lost their relevance. They have lost their faith, of general public across the globe. We used to have a faith that World Health Organization is there to help us, to provide us advisory, and so on. So similarly, we have to understand that what is the challenge for us, what is the present scenario. Most of the people, they were getting worried that under government pressure, there might be a possibility that government may forfeit our fixed deposit and so on. So many of the doubts which are coming into your mind, my attempt will be to clarify all those doubts. So the first very question and the pertinent question which comes to us is how to secure. And see, for this question, you will find, n number of answers. If you talk to Mr. X will tell you something else. Mr. Y will tell you something else. Somebody who is expert into capital market will ask you to go to share market. Somebody who is, having agency of insurance company will say, ask you to buy insurance policy. Somebody who is having banking investment scenario will ask you to, have bank FDs. And eventually, if somebody is there into mutual fund market, will ask you to go for SIP. Honestly speaking, my friends, my seniors, we are actually bombarded with the information, what to do, how to secure. And I'm telling you, need not to ask. This point onwards, need not to ask anyone. You yourself can judge, because we all are faculty members and we can decide how to invest. The moment the term investment comes, we have a scenario like this, so technical. It looks very simple, but if you look at the zigzags of investment, this is being reflected by this particular diagram which I'm showing here. People simply ask you to invest, but it has so many dimensions. Many hands are coming. Somebody is showing you the figure, the circle. Somebody is showing you the gold. Somebody is showing you the real estate. Somebody is saying to invest into mutual fund and so on. So the question comes, where to go? The best answer should come from your side. First of all, we should start from a need. What exactly I need? What is my requirement? So we should start from a requirement and then try to find out which of the investment option can actually cater to my requirement. Suppose if I'm actually in need of having something to drink. So the moment I realize that I need to have something to drink, I cannot, go for demanding that. So first of all, we need to recognize our need, what exactly my need is. So I'm going to show you the need sign of a smart investor. When we say smart investor, we should be specific, measurable, realistic, and time bound. And whatever goals we are, deciding, it should be achievable. So if I'm saying my goal should be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. Because whenever I'm going to somebody is prescribing you to buy some piece of land, we cannot buy acres of land. We are not getting that much of salary. Whatever salary we are getting, that is, there for meeting out our requirement only. So the question comes, what is my requirement? Then we can plan. So the first very requirement should be that each one of us should have a medical coverage of ourselves and our family. I hope you all will agree to this. That the first and the foremost requirement for each one of us should be that we should have a medical coverage of self. Because if it is there, we can very well plan. In case of any medical illness, in case of any problem, we can go to hospital and, avail those services. I'm not criticizing the CGHS service under which we are covered, but at times that CGHS, plan is not sufficient to our requirements. So we need to actually understand that we are supposed to have at least one policy, whatever the amount of policy is, we should try to have a policy which should cover me and my family members, so that I should rest assured that any illness should not disturb all my finances. And this is, I'm telling you, this is going to be applicable for across the lifespan. For throughout the life, we need some assurance. We should rest assured that my medical requirement is going to be fulfilled with this policy. So even if we as faculty members, we are covered under CGHS policy or CGHS scheme, then too, I would suggest, I feel that we should have a medical policy. Size may be different. It may be a small policy, but we should try to have at least one, Mediclaim policy under which we can get some medical assurance. The best part of it is you'll be getting tax benefit also under section 80D. So whatever amount I contribute to this particular, purchase of Mediclaim policy, I can actually get the deduction of income tax under section 80D also. I'll be telling you about the tax benefits and all, but right now I'm talking about the requirement only. So the first requirement, which is going to be across the life, is medical coverage. Second is, when we are starting our life journey, we should have some small savings for the future of a child. So if I'm having my child, I should have some small savings for the future of my child. Suppose tomorrow my child is willing to go for some education, my child is, having some requirements. So I should not run short of that particular requirement. See, each one of us will agree that we can bear with all the problems, but we don't wish that our coming generation should suffer with any financial crisis. So the second requirement is we should have some small savings for future of child, and plan you can decide. Any plan you can decide, but we should have small savings for the future of our child. The second is, which is very crucial and very important. Till I'm alive, I'm there to cater to my family. Till I'm there, I can support my family with all my efforts. I'm actually the bread earner of my family. So I'm there to help. But what if there is some untoward incident? What if one fine morning, my wife comes to know that Aditya is no more? So in that situation, I should try to secure my family after me. Throughout the life, I'm going to, take care of my family, my kids, my relatives, my friends. But what if I'm not there? So I should have a term policy for any untoward incident which we or any of us may come across. Earlier, people used to avoid talking about term policy, but we need to understand that we should be prepared for accepting this harsh reality that life is uncertain. And once the life is uncertain, we should always be prepared for any untoward incident. And here comes the role of term policy. So I need term policy because there is a possibility, there is some kind of uncertainty. So whatever amount of fixed deposit, whatever amount of recurring deposit, whatever NSC I buy, what if that is going to be applicable till I'm alive? The moment I leave this world, what about my family? And nowadays, what is happening? Each one of us are actually under pressure of some quantity of loan. Somebody has taken car loan, somebody has taken home loan, somebody has taken personal loan. So some kind of loan is there. And the beauty of insurance is that you can also go for getting your loan insured. You can also get your loan insured. Suppose if I leave this world and my wife is having tremendous burden of home loan, car loan and everything. So whatever facility, amenity I have created, that is not there for her. And actually it has become a burden for her. So the moment her tears are going to dry, what she'll feel, or what he's going to feel, that this is the life you have given to me. So we should be prepared for this kind of untoward incident. And lastly, once I complete inning, that is I get retired, what about the savings for post retirement life? We all wish that we should protect, we should save, we should support our kids across the life, our family across the life. And once we are we are willing to do so, our planning should be like this. So my friends, basically our requirement is having 4 dimensions. One is the medical treatment across the life. Second is small savings for the future of child, where my kid should not run short of, my kid should not be, should not be, devoid of this kind of facility, that he or she is willing to go for some education abroad, and I'm not able to fund that. So I should have some small savings which can help him or her in future. I should have a term policy for untoward incident. And obviously, post-retirement, I need some amount so that I should not be dependent on anyone. Fortunately, we are into the teaching profession. Although we are not covered as under pension policy, we are having new pension scheme where 60% of people who are appointed after 2004, where 60% of the fund is going to be given to us post retirement, and 40% will go to pension fund. But honestly speaking, the kind of pension, we might be feeling very glad or very happy that I'll be receiving pension in say in lakhs, or some people say that you'll be getting 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees. Honestly speaking, 20 years down the line 1 lakh rupees will not have be having any value. So we need to first account for the savings for post retirement life as well. So we should have different levels of plan. If I'm alive across the period, if I complete my inning, then this is my plan. If somehow due to uncertainty of life, I could not complete my inning, what is plan B? So we should try to, act as a smart investor. And most of us, basically, we are either investing in one or two options, but we are not going holistically. So I hope you all will agree with this, idea, this requirement. If you can witness or find some other requirement, you can let me know. We can have discussion on this. But to my mind, these are the 4 domains of requirements which we are roughly having. Now, before we go for planning, this is my need. After understanding the need, we need to, check in what kind of environment we are behaving. We are going to invest. We are living in a setup, and we should be aware of the environment. That in our country, what is happening. So in the background, I will tell you that recently Government of India have actually, revised the interest rates. If you look at this interest rate of Government of India, you will find that they have revised. I'm simply showing you an official notification by Government of India Ministry of Finance on 31st March 2020. And if you look at the deposit scheme, even the Public Provident Fund Scheme, PPF, which was having an interest rate of 7.9%, it has now been reduced to 7.1%. NSC, which was having 7.9%, now it is 6.8%. Kisan Vikas Patra, where people used to invest, it was having 7.6% of interest, now it is having 6.9%. And Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, which was actually a flagship plan of Government of India, it has also witnessed the reduction of interest rate. So we need to understand that whatever planning we are making, what if the rate of interest is getting reduced? Each one of us must have heard of that our parents are talking about, our parents were talking about, getting their money doubled in 5 years time, that in 5 years time, we were getting our money double. That in 5 years time, our money used to get double. So gone are the days when we used to say that money is going to get double. To my mind, if you ask me as a person of accounting and finance, I would say money never gets double. It is simply the cost of inflation which government is going to pay to us. Government is simply trying to equate the cost of inflation. What our forefathers used to buy with 5,000 rupees salary, we cannot buy with a salary of rupees 1 lakh or so. I hope you'll agree. What our parents used to buy with 5,000 rupees of salary, we cannot buy it with a salary of even 1 lakh rupees per month. And it is only because of time value of money, because value of money is attached to the timing. So revision of interest, recently I have shown to you declining rates of interest on FD. Most of us, or majority of us, or I can say roughly all of us, are having at least one fixed deposit, one FD investment. Most of us go to the bank and we deposit, we open one FD account, we deposit certain amount. But what about the rate of interest? It is continuously declining. So the return which you are going to get out of this FD is not going to suffice our requirement with the increasing inflation. So whatever money I'll be getting, so whether I need to question myself that should I remain or stick to this investment plan? Should I go for investing into FD or recurring deposit or so? When the rate of interest is continuously declining, I'm telling you, my friends, a day will come when bank is going to ask us to pay certain amount of charges for depositing our money. Banker will say, because there is no requirement in the market, the kind of scenario, the kind of depressive economic environment we are witnessing right now, there can be a situation when banks are having surplus money and there is no taker. Banks are having our deposits and they are giving it to other people as loan. So the difference is their margin. They are taking deposits at 5% and giving loan at 9%, 4% is their margin. What if there is no taker? So for what they are going to take our deposit? So we need to keep this thing in mind that this is a change which we are witnessing in this scenario. I'm showing you the copy of a passbook. One of my friend in Siliguri, he sent me this stamped passbook under DICGC clause. Most of the non-commerce background people, they are not aware that in my bank account, whatever money I have deposited, that is all secured. Mind my statement, our entire money is not secure into the banks. I'm not, speaking against the banking system or the government system. I'm simply telling you the rule. There is a company called DICGC, Deposit Insurance and Guarantee Corporation. All our deposits are going to be guaranteed by this particular company. And bankers earlier, they used to get it insured for rupees 1 lakh only. So whatever deposit you are making, your banker is liable to return to the tune of 1 lakh rupees only. Over and above, banker is not liable for that. In case of bankruptcy and insolvency, banker will say that as per DICGC clause, your deposit to the tune of 1 lakh rupees is only the secure deposit. Rest all is going to be into the loss which bank is witnessing. So mind here, my friends, our bank deposits, bank FDs may not be secure in case of bank failure. And the kind of consolidation of banking sector we are witnessing, the kind of NPAs, increase in NPA we are witnessing, we need to really think over it. We need to really, introspect that should I deposit my all money into the bank accounts? During this depressive environment, when news was going on, some of my friends were asking me that, Aditya, tell me that whatever money is there into savings bank account, can my bank stop me from withdrawing? Answer is yes. Answer is yes. If you go to Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, I think you can very well search on Google and you can find. There what happened, people who served for say 25, 30 years, they got their PF Provident Fund money, they deposited that amount into the cooperative bank and they were stopped from withdrawing that money. They were asked to withdraw to the tune of 50,000 per month only. Imagine I retire, I get 25 lakh rupees as my corpus and my banker is stopping me from withdrawing. So we need to understand that this is a change in scenario, that my entire deposit is not guaranteed by the banker. I'm not saying banker is going to forfeit it, but as far as guarantee is concerned, on record, guarantee was to the tune of 1 lakh rupees. Now the government have revised it to 5 lakh rupees. But over and above 5 lakh rupees, there is no guarantee. So guarantee term, we need to understand it's not guaranteed. Banker may or may not give. If banker is in a position, banker will pay, otherwise they'll not pay. Now there are so many news. I'm simply sharing the link and I'll not be reading here. I was going through the newspaper, Hindustan Times, Indian Express, HT Mint, Live Mint and all. And only one news was going on that amid this entire crisis, what is happening? Health and term insurance, these covers are gaining traction. They are having a lot of attraction of people, and people have started asking to their insurance agents that whether COVID-19 disease is covered or not under my Mediclaim policy. So most of the insurance companies, they are coming forward to help people, and it is actually, gaining traction. Now the question comes, what is the purpose of doing investment? That I'll be discussing, very soon. So these news are there that health and term insurance covers, they are gaining traction. So the question comes, I'll not be talking about the traditional insurance policy. I'll first focus on term policy because there is a limitation of time. So I'll first complete the focus point of our discussion. I'll discuss the important points and then I'll come to other points if time permits. So term policy, the moment this term policy comes, there is a question into our mind. For what purpose this insurance policy is? Term insurance is basically a minimum required to provide financial security to our dependents in case of our untimely demise. I told you, in case of any untoward incident, this term insurance is going to help my family. And what is the benefit into it? It is the cheapest way to protect our future income from the risk of, you dying before you have earned it. Suppose I joined service. I'll share one instance. Some of the faculty members in Delhi University, they joined. I'll not name that person. That person joined Delhi University, served for 2-3 years. Unfortunately, he was suffering from dengue and he lost his life battle. And I'm telling you, all faculty members, we contributed 1 day salary of ours to support to the family, to provide support to the family. Because that person could never even think of that he's going to leave this world, so early. So God is having his own plan. Destiny is playing its own game. So we need to understand, if I'm earning across the life, it is good. But what if I go before earning? I can save only if I earn. But what if even I don't earn? So what to do? So the answer to this question is term policy. And I'm telling you, earlier you take it, better it is. Because along with the increase in our life or the age, the rate of the amount of premium increases. Because number of risks are associated with this particular policy. So the question comes, should I buy insurance policy? I have again certain options. You must buy a term policy if, number one, your budget is tight. Whatever you earn, whatever you get salary on day one of your of this month, if it is getting dried by 15th of this month, or if you feel that my salary is not sufficient to meet out all my requirement, you must buy a term policy if my budget is tight. But suppose if I'm going to open RD to the tune of my salary amount, then obviously term policy is not for me. So if my budget is tight, if I'm somehow managing all my expenses, then obviously I should buy a term policy. If I'm a person with low income, only one income, single-handedly I'm earning, I'm the sole breadwinner of my family, so I should, buy. Or I have number of responsibilities to cater to. I not only take care of my family, but also my brother, my friends, my relatives, some of my close relatives. I'm also supposed to take care of them. Then obviously I should, buy a term policy. And obviously, if I'm the sole breadwinner of family and I'm having a moderate income, honestly speaking, we all teachers are having only moderate income, because whatever is on paper, that is the only income which we have. There is no other source of income for us. So we need to think that if these conditions are fulfilled, I should buy a term policy. A person on the threshold of career, or suppose even if somebody is doing business and is entering into a new venture, you close your old business and now you are willing to start a new venture, then you should go for this kind of policy. If you have taken a large loan, such as home loan, car loan, you should buy a term policy. I took a loan of 1 crore rupees, having a payment term of 25 years, and today my age is 35. So by the time I attain the age of 60, then only I'll be able to repay that particular loan. But what if I leave early? What if there is some untoward incident? It may sound negative, but we need to accept it. We need to be prepared for the worst situation. See, we should always hope for the best, but we should be prepared for the worst. And for that, the answer is the term policy. But again, I'm not, promoting term policy in any manner. I'm simply telling you one of the options that here also you can invest. There are certain limitations into term policy. Although some of the insurance companies, they are trying to help us in overcoming these limitations, but limitations are there. The first limitation is the premium for term insurance steeply increases with the advancing age. If I'm buying a term policy in the age of 30 years, my premium may be 10,000 rupees. And if you are buying if you decide to, or you plan to buy this policy 5 years, after me, that is in the age of 40 years, obviously the premium is going to increase. So it's earlier you decide, better it is. Second is at older ages, suppose if somebody is planning to buy a term policy in the age of 65 or 70, at times most of the insurance companies, they will say clear no to you, that no, we cannot give you this policy. And at times, even if they are offering, the premium amount is very high. And at times it is so much so that we cannot even think of affording it. Wealth creation is not possible, unlike other insurance policies, where suppose if you buy a simple policy of any insurance company, I'm not naming any company, any insurance company, there is a sum insured, and that amount is paid to us either at the time of maturity or death, whichever is earlier. So whatever amount we are going to receive, that wealth creation is there into the traditional policy, but in term policy, unfortunately, it is not there. Although some of the insurance companies, they have started, coming up with this policy, that they'll also provide you this benefit, that along with the term policy or the life security, in case everything is going well and we are completing our inning, then at the time of maturity also they are paying us. But in that case, amount of premium is slightly high. Term insurance will not serve the purpose if you wish to save money for the specific need, such as if you are planning to collect money for education of child, marriage, old age provisions like retirement need, then obviously term insurance is not going to play. Term insurance is going to cater to your basic requirement, or you can say emergent requirement, that is in case of untoward incident. In case of some untoward incident, when I'm no more, my family may stay relaxed. Or you can say, I may die with the peace of mind. My soul may rest in peace, that my family will not suffer. If we believe into this soul theory, then obviously philosophy, then obviously my soul may rest in peace. You must have gone through the advertisement of Policy Bazaar, that they are propagating this idea. What about your child fee? What about the EMI? What about the rent? What about the household expenses? Why don't you buy term policy? This is what they are saying. So the question comes, how to plan? I would say there has to be a need-based planning.
Well, creation is not possible through time.
Sir, please continue. There is some disturbance. Please continue.
Options, we should make our own portfolio. We should go for diversified investment. And we have to first understand that what are the different categories of investment. Before I go to the investment, I would like to show you a very small ad, of a company. And then again, we'll come to this particular ad. I'll show you a very small, advertisement by an insurance company. Although it is used by the trainers, but I'm showing it to you.
वो स्टोरी का नाम है ट्रपीज।
Can you listen?
चलो देख लेते हैं
Can you
वो
see?
ट्रपीज क्या है। मैं आपको
Yes, sir. It is audible and visible also.
कस्टमर को समझाना है, वो आप ध्यान रखो, क्योंकि मैं डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन कर रहा हूँ, मैं आपको बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन कर रहा हूँ कि ये कैसे बता। तो आपके कस्टमर को आपने बहुत सारा चीज समझाया है, बहुत सारा चीज एक्सप्लेन किया है, फिर भी उसके बाद वो कहता है यार मुझे इंश्योरेंस की जरूरत नहीं है। तो फिर आपको क्या कहना है? आपको उसको पूछना है, सर आपने सर्कस देखा है? तो कस्टमर बोलेगा हाँ देखा है। फिर पूछने का, और ये सवालों के जरिए से आपको पूछना है, सर आपने सर्कस देखा है? तो वो बोलेगा हाँ। फिर आपको पूछना है, सर सर्कस में एक ट्रपीज होता है ना, जो झूले के ऊपर झूलता है, छलांग मारता है एक झूले से दूसरे झूला, वो आपने देखा है? तो कस्टमर बोलेगा हाँ देखा है। तो आपको कहना है कि सर क्या हुआ ना, एक बार एक सर्कस था, रशियन सर्कस था, उसमें एक ट्रपीज था एंथनी नाम का, जिसने ये जो शो में, वो सर्कस में वो ये ट्रपीज का काम करता था, और वो बंदे ने 7 साल वहां काम किए थे, मतलब 7000 शो किए थे, कभी भी गिरा नहीं था, मतलब एकदम एक्सपर्ट हो गया था। 7 साल के बाद एक दिन क्या हुआ, शाम को सब शोज खत्म होने के बाद वो अपने टेंट में जाके बैठा, उसका बॉस आया और उसको बोला है कि एंथनी एक मिनट जरा इधर आ। तो एंथनी हड़बड़ाता हुआ घबराता हुआ बाहर दौड़ के आया। उसके बॉस ने उसके कंधे के ऊपर हाथ डाला, बोला चलो हम लोग एक राउंड मार के आते हैं। वो बहुत अचंभे में था, मतलब बहुत कंफ्यूज था कि बॉस ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं। तो बॉस ने उसको लेके गया। फिर बॉस उसको पूछने लगा कि बेटा मेरे को एक चीज बोल, तू जब ऊपर ये छलांग लगाता है ना, जब ये करता है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम होती, कोई मतलब डर लगता है? एंथनी बोला सर क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप, मेरे को कैसा डर लगेगा? अरे बेटा नहीं सही में बोल, मैं बॉस है करके नहीं, सही में मेरे को बोल कि तेरे को डर लगता है क्या? एंथनी बोला नहीं साहब मेरे को नहीं लगता। अरे बोला तेरे को डर नहीं लगता, कैसा ऐसा हो सकता है? मैं नीचे से खड़ा रह के जब तेरे को ऊपर देखता हूँ ना तो मेरा तो बहुत हालत खराब हो जाता है। बोला सर आपका हालत खराब होता रहेगा, मैं तो ये रोजाना करता हूँ। सर मैं ये आपको समझाना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आप मेरे को रात को, गहरी रात को 2 बजे अगर आप मेरे को नींद में से जगा के अगर बुलाएंगे और ऊपर अगर खड़ा करेंगे ना तो यूं ही इसी प्रकार से बिना कोई झिझक में ये शो करूंगा। तो बॉस बोला अरे वाह बहुत अच्छा है। तो उसको उन्होंने पीठ थपथपाया और बोला बॉस तू तो मेरा शेर है, तू तो मेरा यार है, तू मेरा एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दिया। एंथनी बोला सर प्रॉब्लम, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम? सर मेरे से तो आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम है। बोला नहीं नहीं पापा तेरे से प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट मैं सिर्फ जानना चाहता था कि रियली तेरे में डर है क्या, और तू अभी बताया कि तेरे को डर नहीं है। तो एंथनी बोला सर बट प्रॉब्लम क्या है? बोला प्रॉब्लम कुछ नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जो नीचे नेट लगाई होती है ना वो खराब हो चुकी है बॉस, वो फट गई है, टूट गई है, और मुझे नया अभी वहाँ जो नेट है जो जाली है वो नया लगाना पड़ेगा और उसके लिए करीबन 2 महीने लगेंगे। तो मेरे को सिर्फ थोड़ा मतलब संतोष होना था, कंफर्म करना था कि अभी नेट नहीं रहेगी तो आप काम करेंगे कि नहीं। और अभी मेरे को मतलब क्लियर हुआ कि आप करेंगे। तो एंथनी ने एकदम से क्या बोला रहेगा, और मैं ये कस्टमर को पूछता हूँ सर आपको क्या लगता है एंथनी क्या बोला रहेगा? क्या एंथनी एग्री किया रहेगा या एंथनी एग्री नहीं किया रहेगा? दोस्तों अक्सर 100% लोग आपको बोलने लगेंगे अरे वो कैसा करेगा, कैसा करेगा, वो नेट के वजह से तो कर रहा था, अरे बहुत सा साइकोलॉजिकली उसके लिए। तो मैं बोलता हूँ सर बट नेट की बात किधर हुई? देखो आप अगर देखेंगे बॉस और एंथनी के बीच में जो बातें हुई उसमें कोई भी नेट के बारे में कोई भी मतलब ये नहीं था। तो मतलब ये है कि बेसिकली कि ये नेट के वजह से वो साइकोलॉजिकली बहुत स्ट्रांग होता है, बट लोगों को पता नहीं है कि नेट के बारे में हम कभी सोचते ही नहीं है। तो इस वजह से मैं कस्टमर को फिर फॉर्म लेता हूँ प्रपोजल का और उसको बोलता हूँ सर ये पॉलिसी जो आप ले रहे हैं मैं आपको कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं सिर्फ आपको एक नेट लगा के दे रहा हूँ ताकि आप
So basically this policy is this video is from the courtesy of Dr. Mrs. Poonam Agarwal. She has actually provided me, they were undergoing a training program for insurance advisor, and there they were saying the moment we are going for selling some policy, people are opposing that why to buy and how to buy, what is the need of having insurance. So honestly speaking, all other plans may help us, but that insurance is going to behave or act as a net for us, as a security for us. Right now, during this COVID, crisis, another, very good message was going in terms of, picture, in terms of a small picture, which I would like to show here. I hope you are able to see. Just a second. A small picture is there. Just a second. I'm just trying to share. Although it is in terms of it is there on phone, I think it is it cannot be shown because it's not supported. Just a second. So basically, what I wanted to tell here is that via this term policy, we can have this kind of planning where we can properly plan. We can have this kind of understanding that insurance is there to support us It is there for our support, and we can have it one of the options of investment. Apart from this term policy, what another point which I wanted to explain here is, which I would like to share. I hope the screen is visible to you. Uh, the limitations of term policy we have discussed, how to plan I have discussed. Now I'm coming to the stages of investment. Most of us, we go for investing into the PPF scheme or insurance scheme, but we're not aware about the tax implication. And this is something which I would like to explain here, and then I'll close and I'll open for the questions of yours. There are three stages of investment. One is the investment stage, the time at which I'm depositing my money. Second is the accumulation stage, where the return on it is being accrued, that is interest. Suppose if I take example of insurance for PPF account, then your interest which is annually credited into your account, that is accumulation stage. And lastly, the withdrawal stage, when I'm going to withdraw this money. So depending on the tax treatment at each stage, we have to understand what is the classification of investment. Government of India via Income Tax Act 1961, it has classified investment into three possible categories: triple E, double ET, and ETE. That is, first one is exempt, 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 then exempt, exempt, taxable, and then exempt, taxable, and exempt. So this is in the order of the sequence of investment. First is the investment stage, second is accumulation, and third is withdrawal. So I would like to tell you that we should be aware that in whatever investment policy I'm going to invest, whether it is all taxable or it is partially taxable or it is totally taxable, right? So I'm starting with the first category. This is the most sought after category of investment, and I would suggest you to go for this kind of category. That is triple E category. Whenever somebody is coming to you that you should take this policy or you should invest into this plan, you should ask this question to the person whether it is in the category of triple E, the EET, or ETE. So if it is triple E, they are exempt at all stages of investment. When I say it is exempt, it means we need not to include it into our income tax returns in any manner, because it is exempt at all stages: at the time of investment, at the time of accrual, and at the time of withdrawal, that is maturity. And under this category, these are the investment options. Life insurance policy which we buy, we first get deduction under section 80C. Later on, when we are getting some accrual of this return, that is also exempt. We need not to include into our return. And lastly, when we get maturity, that is also exempt. Public Provident Fund, PPF. There is a limitation into this, that amount is going to be blocked for 15 years. After a period of 15 years only you can withdraw. But in case you are planning for your child's education or for some other activity where you want that money should strictly be blocked, you should go for PPF. EPF, Employee Provident Fund, and all ELSS, equity linked savings schemes. Here I would take a pause and tell you that some of the advisors are coming to you and asking you to buy some mutual funds, debt policy or equity policy. There are two categories into that. The first question which you need to ask to that advisor is, what is the quantum of allocation? Let me explain what is allocation. Suppose one advisor is coming to me and telling me, sir, you have to pay a premium of 20,000 rupees per annum for 10 years, and this is a mutual fund. I asked that particular person, what is allocation? That advisor started stammering and he said, sir, allocation is 80%. Now try to understand what do we mean by this 80%. 80% means if I pay 20,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees is going to be credited into that agent's account on account of commission. So initially, when the first premium, when you are paying, only 4,000 rupees is going in your account with the insurance company. Rest 16,000 is going into the agent's account. And the kind of job crisis we are having, the kind of young rocket sing like marketers we are having, they are not worried. They're not ethical. They're not ethically selling their policies. They are coming to you. They don't bother about your requirement. What they do, they actually bother about their incentive. They're not going to sell you that policy which is beneficial for you. They'll sell that policy to you. They'll force you to buy that policy which is giving them the highest commission. And honestly speaking, even after 1 or 2 years, they leave that job. And problem with you is that we, with the Indian mentality, And as a faculty member, we feel that once the policy has been taken, we should not stop it, we should not discontinue it. Let's continue with this policy. So we have to be very mindful while buying any policy that what is the allocation. And nowadays you can very well compare all the policies which are there online. You need some advisors also, you can talk to them, but always ask for this allocation clause. What is the quantum of allocation? Second category is EET, exempt, taxed or taxable, which means at the time of investment it is exempt, at the time of accrual it is exempt, but the moment you are going to withdraw it, it is going to be taxable. And the best example to it is National Pension Scheme. Earlier it was New Pension Scheme, but now we also call it National Pension Scheme, and all other pension scheme, they are coming under this category. And under this category, what is happening? The amount invested under NPS earns a deduction under section 80CCC and 80C scheme. You are getting deduction. For your contribution, we are getting deduction under section 80C, and for employers' contribution, we are getting deduction under section 80CCD. As far as government employees are concerned, we are getting deduction under that category. So, but remember, at the time of retirement, what will happen? That 60% corpus will come to us, 40% will go to pension fund. But whatever pension will be receiving, we should not be under any kind of illusion that it is also going to be exempted. No, it is going to be taxable. And recently, Government of India have actually announced that withdrawal at the time of retirement will be exempt. Otherwise, earlier, withdrawal at the time of retirement, that is 60% of the amount, that was also taxable partially. But now the government have announced that it is not taxable. So this scheme of NPS, we need to read all the documents. We are actually going under default policy. We are very happy that our money is going to grow for a very long run. But I'm telling you, there is no substitute of OPS, that is old pension scheme. This is whatever we are getting is obviously the government policy. I'm not here to comment on that. But whatever is the policy, we need to plan accordingly. So we have to understand that under NPS, government is giving us, the benefit, the tax exemption right now to motivate, so that we should not, raise voice, or we should not go against it. But later on, at the time of obviously the retirement, whatever amount I'll be getting, that is going to be taxable. The last category is ETE, that is exempt, taxed, and exempt. Most of us, we commit a mistake into this category. I hope most of us are having NSCs, National Savings Certificates. We buy from post office. Nowadays, post office is giving a passbook for that also, and they are putting an entry. They're not giving you certificate like earlier they were providing. And we feel that I have invested into NSC, it is all exempt. No, it is exempt at the time of investment. It is exempt at the time of withdrawal. But across the period, whatever interest is getting accumulated, that is going to be taxable. So these investments are taxed at the accumulation. As per the government rule, whatever interest is getting accumulated onto my NSC, I'm supposed to report into my income tax return, and I should pay tax on that. So best example of this investment is National Savings Certificate and Tax Saver Fixed Deposit. When we are going to the bank for tax saving FD of 5 years, then obviously I'm supposed to pay tax on that interest which is getting accumulated. We are getting a reduction under section 80C of Income Tax Act at the time of deposit. At the time of withdrawal also it is exempt, but during the period when the interest is getting accumulated, we are supposed to pay tax on this. So we as a faculty member, we need to be mindful, because at times we are committing this mistake. Or even for other investors, if you are willing to invest into different schemes, we need to be mindful whether my investment falls under the category of EEE, EET or ETE. And accordingly, we should plan our activities. So what I personally feel, I'm not here to give any solution. My only job is here to tell you about the options, the limitations, and the tax implications. Suppose if somebody is saying that you are getting a return of 10%, rate of return of 10%. There is a golden rule of 72 in financial management, which we are teaching to our students. There is a golden rule of 72. I'll share a very small story of mine. When one of my students who did his MBA and came to me for selling a policy, he was willing to sell me a policy and asked me to pay premium in one go. He gave me two plans. He said, sir, I have a plan. You buy a term policy of 1 crore rupees. Either you pay 10,000 rupees per annum for 30 years, or you pay 70,000 rupees per annum for 10 years only, and stay relaxed. The coverage is the same. Then I told my student that I will actually go for, I asked him that which policy do you recommend? He recommended me the first option, that I should pay 70,000 rupees per annum and I should pay for 10 years and stay relaxed. But I'm telling you, since I'm a teacher of financial management, I know the time value of money. I told him that suppose if me and you both are having a term policy and both of us are going to die after 2 years. So my family will get 1 crore rupees after paying 1,40,000 rupees, and your family will get 1 crore rupees by paying 20,000 rupees. So who is wise? So basically, we have to be mindful that while making investment, we have to understand that what is the time value of money, what is the role of time value of money. At times, people are coming to you with the insurance policy. Sir, आप हमें 5 लाख रुपए दे दीजिए. Time of retirement will be paying you this much of interest. 60 years onwards, still you are alive, you'll be getting interest. Now the time is unknown for us. So at times we are not able to calculate. It is very simple to calculate. It is just like, somebody is coming to Principal Saab and asking that, sir, I'm willing to start a scholarship of 10,000 rupees to the topper of BCom course at your college. Now Principal Sir is willing to start that scholarship. The question comes, how much money should we take from that particular person who is willing to institute or constitute a scholarship? 10,000 rupees per annum is to be given as scholarship. Now, how much money should we take? It is very simple. We should take the current rate of interest, divide that 10,000 rupees by the rate of interest. Suppose rate of interest is 10%. So I'll be charging 10,000 divided by 10%. I'll take 1 lakh rupees from the person who is willing to start scholarship. And that 1 lakh rupees will be deposited into the bank account, and with the interest every year will keep on paying scholarship. The same is the fundamental behind these insurance companies who are offering us the insurance policy, or you can say the pension policies. So while deciding that pension amount, we have to be mindful that whatever money I'm giving, whether I get that particular return or not. Very simple. Whatever amount they are asking you to pay, they are saying that, sir, you'll be getting pension of 50,000 rupees. Take up 50,000 rupees divided by the current rate of interest. Suppose if it is 10%, amount comes to be 5 lakh rupees. You should not pay more than 5 lakh rupees. Time is not known, but you can calculate. So these are small formulas which we can use. But here I'm not to share any formula with you. My job is just to tell you the need and the options available. No tax is charged on withdrawal on NSCs and other schemes. Options which are available to us is deposit scheme, traditional bank FDs, which most of us have been resorting to. Limitation, I told you, your deposit to the extent of 5 lakh rupees is guaranteed. Rest all is not at all guaranteed. Recurring deposits you can have. Post office savings schemes you can avail there also, but the rate of interest is continuously declining. PPF account, there is a limit of 15 years. You can invest there, and it is very much applicable. I actually recommend those who all have joined recently, they must open a PPF account. Even if you are able to pay only 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees per annum, pay 5,000. At least complete that time tenure, so that after the completion of 15 years, you can withdraw. We can have NPS for existing government employee. It is already there with us. Atal Pension Yojana for those who are not into the government job. Pension plans and insurance companies, term insurance, savings insurance. So these are plans and many more. I'm not discussing the real estate and investment in gold here, because that is going to invite a lot of discussions, because it is all, specific. It belongs to a specific area. We cannot compare the investment into real estate with that of investment into PPF scheme or NPS and something like that. So real estate, I'm not going to compare, because there might be a possibility that somebody who invested 5 lakh rupees 10 years back in a piece of land, today he might have sold it for 1 crore rupees. Or might be a possibility that today I'm buying a piece of land in Delhi in 1 crore rupees, and tomorrow government is going to acquire it and saying that this land has lost its value, and now the acquisition value will not be that. What is the market price? So there can be downward revision also in the price, in the correction of real estate prices, because as far as Delhi, where I stay, Delhi and NCR, the price of real estate, the stocks of real estate, they are huge in quantity. They are available in huge quantity, and there is no taker. So I'm not going to discuss real estate and investment in gold. I have discussed all other options. I hope I could make some point, which is a sensible point for you. I hope I have been able to clarify, some of the things which were not there into your mind. Thank you so much. Now I'm open to all the questions. If you feel like asking, you can ask me. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hello. Are you listening me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. First of all, I think everybody should congratulate me for bringing Aditya Tripathi on this platform. Aditya, you say whether I really deserve it. I'm not getting any point to describe your performance, your session, your lecture, your talk, whatever you think. It is beyond my imagination. काफी अच्छा रहा और जैसा कि हमारे जो नए साथी हैं उनके तरफ से डिमांड था, I think you have explained each and every bits of finance and insurance. Thank you. Now, Bipin, you just announced that now the session is open to question. If anybody has any question, they can raise the question.
I already write it on the chat section.
Yeah.
And I also announced to everybody, if everybody have if somebody have asked any question regarding the talk, we are welcome for their question. Please ask. And I'm seeing in the chat section.
1 minute, please.
Everybody is appreciating the lecture.
Please ask the question.
We can come via video call. We can talk to each other. I would like that we can, have discussion here. In place of writing, if they feel like they can talk to me directly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I already announced.
Yeah. That would have been a better idea.
You can also look विपिन YouTube के भी जो दोस्त हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं ना, उनका भी रिएक्शन से एक बार देखते हैं वहाँ से कोई क्वेश्चन हो, क्योंकि Zoom टॉक में तो हम लोग
एक्चुअली हमने वो सिलेक्ट किया है कुछ जो क्वेश्चन था YouTube का, हम बता रहे हैं। अशोक कुमार सिंह जी, yes, the first question from Ashok Kumar Singh ji. He want to know about how COVID-19 is related to the investment.
Yes. So I would like to take up, I would like to first of all say thanks to Ashok Kumar ji. Why COVID-19 is related to investment? The reason is COVID-19 is one of the crises which we are witnessing right now. And whenever we are under crisis, then only we realize the importance of savings. So whatever savings we are having, like right now, we are fortunate enough to get our salary into our account. But government, at times we got this notice that government is going to reduce the transport allowance, or the government have announced not to pay dearness allowance. So obviously our salary is going to get reduced. So this is only an indication. This lecture is not meant for only salaried class. I just thought of making it more comprehensive so that everybody should get benefit out of it. The point here is, think of a businessman who have started his business recently, and there is no savings. Standing charges, that is rent of the shop, the salary of the staff, that is going on. What about how to manage the finances? Then obviously we have to have some savings into our mind. We should save certain amount of money with us so that in our great time or in tough times, we can take care of that particular plan. So this COVID-19 is only a symbolic crisis which we are witnessing right now. We are talking about that this is a time where we have taken a pause. We were actually running like a mad person. We were not even thinking of giving a second thought to our investment process or options. Now at least we have started thinking that what if I don't have any savings? What if tomorrow government says that in the nation in the interest of nation, government is going to declare a financial emergency. So how to deal with that situation? So it is the investment which is going to take care of us. And moreover, sir, I mentioned about term policy. To Ashok Kumar ji, I'm talking about the term policy, medical insurance. Right now, when you are going to a private hospital, you can imagine whatever facilities government is providing, that is fine. But are we ready to leave our family members to those facilities which are there? Obviously, answer is in negation. Obviously not. What if due to this crisis where people are losing their life, what if a person is no more and his entire family is going to come on road? Road means whatever house you have taken, that is under loan. The car which you have bought, having loan. So that is why we talked about this COVID-19 and the investment option, and I specifically took insurance as a topic. So I hope I have answered to this question.
Meenakshi have
Okay,
a
then
question.
next.
Wait a minute. Meenakshi have a question.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, she have a question that, sir, I have a query. As you said, the interest earned on NSC is taxable, but
Yes.
the interest and exempt on NSC. What about the interest and exempt on NSC?
Yeah, I
Actually, to
actually
you.
tried to explain here. Interest is not exempt. NSC, when we are investing, we are getting deduction under ATC, and at the time of maturity, it is exempt, because government says that annually you should pay whatever interest is getting accumulated. Annually, you should include it into your income tax returns. This is what rule says. Although ground reality is 90% of the taxpayer or the SSEs, they are not including it into their returns. I have been knowing most of the commerce teachers who are teaching taxation, they also, forget to include. So government is little liberal into this aspect while processing the return. But as far as rule is concerned, we need to we need to disclose that interest into our income tax return.
And Mahima Singh, one more question from Mahima Singh. What to look in traditional insurance policy? Mahima
Yes.
Singh, to you.
Pardon, sir, please, can you please repeat?
She is asking what to look in traditional insurance policy. I think he's asking that it is better to look for the traditional insurance policy or not, or we go for the.
See, I'm not saying that traditional insurance policies are not good. They have a different role to play. Traditional insurance policies, the beauty of those policies are that you are having a maturity value. So small investments are getting accumulated, and 10 years down the line, even you don't, feel the pinch after 1 or 2 years paying 1 or 2 premiums, and you feel that that accumulated amount is coming to me. So you are actually finding it very good, an accumulated value at the end of maturity, and meanwhile your life is also insured. So I'm not negating the importance of those traditional insurance policies. You must take one policy, but don't take multiple policies, because there is a reinsurance clause. Then the highest amount will actually be paid to you. If you are having for one life, if we are having 10 policies, then obviously it is not going to serve the purpose, because they are going to, suppose if I'm willing to buy a term policy of 10 crore, it is not that easy that my banker is going to, my insurer is going to provide me that policy as it is. They will actually value whether my salary is equivalent to 10 crores or not. Had I been alive, whether I would earn 10 crores or not. So I'm not saying that we should not invest into traditional insurance policies. We must insure or invest into traditional insurance policies, but we should ask our advisors that whether these kind of diseases, pandemics, whether they are covered into it or not. Because now this is a very pertinent and very important question to be asked from your insurer, that whether COVID-19 or such kind of pandemic diseases, whether they are covered into my policy or not. And I must take coverage of that.
Paladi ji, you have a question?
Next question.
Yes. I am asking from one more question from Bipin Kumar ji. He want to ask if someone has limited money, in that case, what is the main purpose? That will be that money should be used for life saving or for life insurance.
So when we are having a very small saving, somebody has written on YouTube, I was going through that, what if my 50% of salary is being deducted? How to go for such kind of policy? So sir, basically term policy is for people like you and me only. I'm also the same kind of person. I look after my family members also, my brothers also, and obviously my family. So I cannot have the recurring deposit. One fine day, somebody was asking me that, sir, you are asking me to invest into term policy for 10,000 rupees. If I'm investing for 30 years in recurring deposit, I may get 50-60 lakh rupees. But see, that is applicable in case I'm earning that much to plan for my savings. If I'm not able to plan for any kind of saving, see, even if I'm going to have FD of 10,000 rupees per annum, what my family is going to get in case of untoward incident? It's all about securing my life. So I would suggest, if you don't have that much of money to save, then you must take term insurance policy. If you have no other option, If you are secured, if you are having a bank balance of 2 crore rupees, 3 crore rupees, no loan on your head, then obviously term policy is redundant for you. In that case, you should take a term policy which is having the surrender value, where the premium is slightly high. But if your salary is less, if you are having lesser amount, available for investment, then I would say whatever is your age group, sooner you plan, better it could be for you. There is a question.
Another question, I think Sanjay Banwal ji, he want to ask about NPS and the old pension scheme. I think you have already addressed this issue.
Yes,
I
sir.
think hope if yeah.
I'm taking
About NPS and
Mr. Anil Nath. Can I take, sir?
Yeah.
There is a question
Yes.
by Mr. Anil Nath. First of all, I am thankful to him for his kind words. His question is where to invest for maximum returns if we are ready to take medium level risk.
अनिल नाथ पहले अपने कॉलेज में था, BS कॉलेज.
Yes, sir. So to Mr. Anil Nath ji, I would say if you are willing to take moderate risk, the very fundamental rule for investment is no risk, no gain, higher risk, higher gain, moderate risk, moderate gain. If you are willing to take moderate risk, I would suggest you to go for investing into the mutual funds, that too which are equity linked. And I would request you to invest into certain blue chip companies. Invest and forget for long run. Because in share market, if you are investing for long run, it is going to give you benefit. If you are willing to invest for a month or so, if you are willing to go for buy today, sell tomorrow, then obviously you may incur loss. But I would suggest you to go for mutual fund, that too equity linked.
Sir, one question.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we are listening to you. Just ask your question.
Yeah, I'm Manju here. I have one question. I am NRI and I have fixed deposits here. And I know that is tax-free. So it is good or what? Or I have to switch to equity or term insurance or whatever, what you will suggest me?
Ma'am, first of all, the fixed deposit fee, whenever we are investing, there is some quantum of risk involved into it. Till date, in Indian scenario, we were resting assured that bank deposits are all safe. They are 100% safe and they have been safe also. They are safe also. But right now, we have realized the importance of this particular guarantee, that now the guarantee is limited to 5 lakh rupees only. So if you are willing to, if you are worried about that, the risk involved into it, you can diversify. I'll suggest you to diversify your fund. Have some deposit into bank account. Take some policy. I don't know about the age, and that I should not even ask you.
I'm 50 years old. That's not a problem. 51.
Yeah. So in case of 51, obviously the policy, the cost of the premium may slightly be high, but you can invest into, you can take some term policies where the maturity value is also there, which is having a component of surrender value also, that in case you complete the term, you get some amount out of it. You get at least your accumulated value plus interest along with the insurance coverage. So you can go for diversifying your investment portfolio. It is just like buying a bouquet, planning, a bouquet where you have certain flowers which are very costly, certain flowers which are of moderate price, and certain flowers which are there to increase the volume of that bouquet. So obviously, similarly, we have to decide our portfolio. So you can diversify. In place of putting all your eggs into one basket, I'll suggest you to diversify. And for this, what you can do is you can keep some investment to FD, some mutual funds, and go for term policy, and also have some traditional insurance policy. Also, you can open the PPF account because still you are 51 years young, so you can go for planning another 15 years. So 50 at the age of 65.
What account? What did you say?
PPF.
Which account?
PPF account.
PPF.
Public can I open here? I am NRI.
That is PPF.
Oh. Okay.
Hello, Aditya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she basically, let me introduce her. She is my sister. So she is in the USA. That's why asking whether she is still eligible for PPF.
I don't think so.
See, if you have greater amount
Sir,
to invest,
I have one important query.
Yeah.
Arjun Sharma, sir.
Yes.
I have Can you hear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, I am saying just a person, suppose that he has finished term of all LIC. I have 5, 6 and all over this year by this year. So what option I have last to invest some money where?
So since you
Will
have
be the
withdrawn
best
your
option.
entire money from the insurance company, what you can do is, and what about the obligations, liabilities? See, if you have a child to raise, then for child also you can take a policy. For kids also you can take a policy.
For the children. But that is also over, sir. One I had, that is also over. This time by 20th, all LIC is over. So I have no option at all to do, and PPF term is also over. Last
That's
year
great, sir.
PPF
That's
term
great.
was also over.
I think
What is
he
the best
requires
option?
portfolio management.
So, sir, in that case, you can have a plan for post-retirement benefit that after you attain the age of 60, you can invest it into certain senior citizen scheme. Government of India is having some senior citizen schemes where rate of interest is also high. Even into bank FD, you can invest because there is no liability. You are fortunate enough to ask this question that I have sufficient money, so you can deposit into senior citizen scheme also.
Sir, I would
Thank
like
you,
to
sir.
interrupt here. I would suggest him to enjoy his life because he has all the hard work he has done throughout his life. Now it is time to use that money into.
Yes, sir. That in any case, sir, is there. You can enjoy. Yeah.
Thank you. Just wait. Don't say thank you. क्योंकि फिर ये दोबारा मिलने वाला नहीं है. अगर एक आध दो सवाल और है, बिपिन जरा तुषार को एडमिट कर लो.
Yeah, excuse me. Tushar is asking here. Yeah.
Hello.
Somebody is asking a question. Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please.
Hello. He is my son here. Don't say sir.
I can listen.
Please. Hello.
Yes, sir. I can listen. Please ask.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can listen.
Yeah. We are hearing you.
Don't press that.
Ask your question, please.
क्या कि तू press कर दे नहीं.
Sir, ask your question, please.
Hello.
Ask your question, please, sir.
Sound is coming. Ask the question.
Hello.
Yeah, please carry on.
Yes. Hi. First of all, it was such an interactive session, and we enlightened about so many topics that are pressing today.
By the time sir is getting connected, I am taking another question of Snehashis Bhattacharjee. He's asking a question, sir, is NPS good for retirement planning compared to other long-term plans available in the market? Obviously, Snehaji, I would say you should go for NPS. Snehashis, I would say you should go for NPS because you are getting the tax benefit also, right? So it would be advisable you go for investing into the NPS, but don't take much of risk. Don't get exposed to a lot of equity. Go for debt, resources, or if you can plan, you can go for, looking at the default scheme by PFRDA, which is suggested by PFRDA. That is going to be safe because they do all analysis and you are resting assured with your investment. So if you are really going for pension policy, I would suggest you should go for NPS.
Sir, one question.
Because it is also give you the tax benefit.
Sir, can I ask a question? Sir, are you able to hear me?
There was a question. I think there was some voice problem. Now, sir can ask if he's willing to ask.
Sir, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, please ask your question. We are hearing you.
Ask the question directly.
The question is that is there any plan government to reintroduce pension policy for government employees? And if it is given, then is it feasible and viable?
Sir, actually, it's a political decision. I think I should, as a faculty member, I should not comment on that. But since we all are teachers, we can talk about that. Obviously, see, there is no substitute of old pension scheme. OPS was always better because you are getting pension, on the basis of your basic salary, and DA is also calculated on that.
Yes.
So Obviously, in any case, there is no substitute of OPS. But since it's been so long, we have been listening to this story that this government is going to change. But as far as my experience is concerned, whenever it comes to finances, any government which is coming is not going to take that burden of paying pension to the people. And due to increase in life expectancy, government is finding it as a burden. Honestly speaking, they are finding payment of pension as a burden. So I don't see any possibility of reversal of this NPS and then coming back to OPS, because the kind of benefit they are offering to us is a clear indication that government is willing to continue with this. You must have heard that government have started increasing the contribution from 10% to 14%. That employer contribution shall increase from 10% to 14%. Although it has been put on hold right now due to COVID-19, but that 14% increment itself is a testimony to this, that government is willing to continue for that. That is why a lot of motivation is given to us. They are giving us a lot of incentives, that you are getting tax benefit. So this is an indication that they're somehow trying to convince us that we should learn how to bear with this scenario. So I don't see there any possibility.
Then India is failing as a welfare state and democratic state.
Yes, sir. Obviously, you can say, but as a faculty member, it's my limitation. I cannot speak against government. I cannot comment on the government policy, nor I wish to.
In fact, he is free to conclude that, but we are not saying that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any question?
Yes, sir. One question I'm taking,
I
sir.
have a
Very
question.
interesting question from the YouTube. Mr. Gulab Bahal Hari, he's asking a question. I'm speaking from Bihar, sir. I want to know, is it beneficial to get term insurance policy after 55 years of age? Sir, I would say it is always beneficial. If you have some liabilities, see, that's if I started pitching with the need. If I'm having some responsibilities, I'm having some strong liabilities with myself, then obviously it is advisable to go for taking term policy. But in your case, since the age is more than 55 years, then obviously they will have a rigorous, process of medical examination, and then the amount of premium may also be high. But I would suggest, if you feel like investing, some greater amount on account of term policy, you must go for it. If you have some liabilities to take care of, then obviously you must take term policy, sir.
Tushar, you can ask question. Tushar,
Yes, sir.
Tushar, you have a question?
Can I ask a
Please
question?
feel free
Yes,
to
I have
ask
a
as many
question.
questions as you can. I'm here to discuss with you all.
Tushar,
Am I audible?
audible.
Hello?
You can ask question. You are clearly audible. Please ask question.
Hello, sir. First of all, it
Yes,
was
sir.
a very interactive session. So my question is basically based on a macro level, not a micro level, but on a macro level, that the world cannot afford to take social cohesion for granted in the post COVID-19 pandemic, right? So that basically implies that underscoring the need for countries to calibrate their social policies to protect and prevent inequality. However, if you see that excessive lending leads to a problematic situation in the long run, so what would be some of the policies apart from this excessive lending that the developing countries can adopt to challenge this, the post-pandemic economic situation that will probably fall upon all of us?
So you want me to comment on that? What should be the policy of the government?
Yes.
Sir, basically we are at a juncture now. We need to redefine the term globalization now. Although it is slightly different from the topic which we are discussing right now, but I would like to have my say here that entire world is going to provide a different meaning to the globalization. The term globalization was talking about world becoming the flat, but I'm telling you, after post-COVID, we are not going to find the world to be that flat as it was. It is not going to be that flat as it was, because people have now started thinking of the policy of protection. So again, history is going to repeat itself, and I personally feel that the kind of setup we had created, we are falling victim to that only. the kind of scenario, we are actually having excessive reliance on, imports only. So we need to think of increasing our production. We need to think of creating demand. We need to think of, see, we are a labor-centric economy. I'm talking from the Indian perspective. Sir, here I would like to give a very, interesting fact in front of you, since you have asked this question, that in our economy, service sector is the most prominent sector. It is contributing more than 50% of our GDP, and out of that, more than 70% workers, they are part of gig economy. Now, what is this gig economy? Where there is no 9 to 5 working, there is no social security, there is no responsibility of employer. You can type on Google and find the data that it is going to be, India is going to be going to be a biggest sufferer of this gig economy, because we are forming more than 60% part of this gig economy. Now, in this gig economy, what is happening? Global players, they were seeking our services and they were not thinking of our social security. So for India as a country, it's the biggest challenge. So obviously, globalization is going to find a new meaning. Social plans in developed economies, they're also going to be challenged. Even the global institutions where we used to have a lot of faith, we used to look at them with a conviction, with a sense of faith that these institutions are of global importance. Now they have lost their relevance somehow.
Exactly, like the WHO.
Like WHO and all, that they are falling prey to some of the countries. I won't name a specific country, but everybody can see the way people are hiding information of this particular crisis where we should not hide. Even developed countries are not able to manage with this pandemic. So imagine if they are not able to manage with this situation, what about country like us, where we are 135 crores of population? So obviously we need to, we are going to witness, we are fortunate enough to witness a turnaround from globalization to localization. Our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, have already started talking about, vocal for local. And most of the companies like Dabur India, their advertisement I was going through, they have started pitching that also. So in some way or the other, we are going to follow the policy of protection and localization. So we are going to have a new definition of globalization, sir.
So basically, you are saying that the Bretton Woods system of economy that we were following after the Second World War is basically somewhat sure to have failed after this pandemic, because this is the biggest level of pandemic after the Spanish flu.
So I would not say it has failed. I would say it is going to find a new dimension. It is going to reincarnate itself. There would be a new avatar of it. It will not fail, but new avatar with some modification, with some significant modifications, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Let me end the session.
Aditya.
Please, sir.
He was my son. Sorry for.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, brother.
Now I think
any question?
अगर एक आध दो सवाल और है तो ले लो, उसके बाद we are going to close the session. Any question? एक दो सवाल का और समय है. अगर किसी को कुछ पूछना है, कोई क्लैरिफिकेशन है, तो प्लीज आस्क.
Sir, where is the feedback form?
Sir,
I think Kumari Rupam has a question. You can ask, ma'am. Rupam, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can ask your question.
Rupam, ma'am, please ask. Yes.
I unmute
This
you.
is Rupam.
OPS जैसी कोई पॉलिसी है क्या?
Please ask your question.
बेनिफिट्स तो जानना चाहते हैं.
हाँ.
OPS जैसी कोई पॉलिसी किसी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी द्वारा दिया जा रहा है क्या?
सर अभी ऐसी कोई पॉलिसी OPS जैसी नहीं हो सकती, क्योंकि OPS is something which is given by the employer to employee. उसमें क्या होता है सर, जो हमारी सर्विसेज होती हैं, जैसे ग्रेचुटी होती है या पेंशन होता है, it is based on employer-employee relationship. So OPS, the kind of program or the kind of benefit we used to have into OPS, obviously no insurance company is going to provide. So similarly, on the same lines, it is not present, anywhere. The only point is that in pension policy, you have different plans. Either you deposit in installments or you go for endowment policy. You give one-time payment, and later on at the time of retirement, on the attainment of age of 60 or 55, you can have the pension. So that is the only thing which is available, sir.
Ma'am, Rupam ma'am, you can ask.
And this will be the last question. Please, Rupa ma'am, you can ask your question.
सर ये जानना चाहते हैं जो पॉलिसी है उसका सर ये टर्म पॉलिसी उसका क्या बेनिफिट ये इनकम टैक्स वगैरह में क्या बेनिफिट इसका मिलता है?
उसका मैम इनकम टैक्स में कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है। टर्म पॉलिसी का इनकम टैक्स में कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है, बट ये है कि जब वो आपकी फैमिली को पेमेंट मिलता है तो वो टैक्सेबल नहीं होता है। फैमिली को जो पेमेंट मिलता है वो टैक्सेबल नहीं होता, हमें कोई टैक्स बेनिफिट नहीं होता है। जैसे कुछ इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज कहती है ना कि विद लाइफ एंड बियॉन्ड लाइफ, तो इट इज बेसिकली बियॉन्ड माई लाइफ। टर्म पॉलिसी का जो प्रोडक्ट है बेसिकली इट हैज बीन डिजाइन्ड एंड क्राफ्टेड विद अ मोटिव दैट व्हेन द इंश्योरर इज नॉट देयर, then how to take care of the family. So that is why no benefit is provided to the insurer, rather entire benefit is transferred to the family. So you can say it's a kind of family protection policy where the family is getting a lot of benefit.
बहुत बधाई आ गया सर आपको.
Okay, Jhata, let me end the session.
Now we are coming to the.
Can we take last question?
And
yeah, sure, sir. You are the speaker. You have all the power.
Thank you so much.
De facto plus de jure.
There is a question from Dr. Tarannum Banu. She's asking where to invest in this time. So I hope she is targeting on this particular pandemic only. See, this is why I started my lecture with the need. We are the one who have to decide what is my requirement. And I basically classified the requirement in 4 parts. One is the routine insurance policy. The second is term policy. Third is children investment plan. And fourth is post-retirement. So depending on the different phases of life. So, on the basis of your requirement, you can plan. And if you feel like, getting connected afterwards also, you can have my number and you can stay connected. We can help you. My mobile number I can share, it is 987 11 44 280. You can stay connected.
Okay. Jhata, let me conclude the session.
Now it's over.
Sir, kindly repeat the mobile number, sir.
Okay.
Mobile numbers kindly repeat.
That will be displayed on the WhatsApp group. Don't bother for that.
We will rotate it further.
To the end of the session.
You can always talk to Professor Binod Jha, sir. He can always catch hold of me anytime, anywhere.
No. Anyway, now we have come to the end of the session. Now I'm requesting Bipin Nautiyal to just present a vote of thanks.
Okay, I'm thankful to all for such a wonderful session. And first, the session really started by giving the introduction by the principal sir, throwing light some on the historical aspect, especially about the establishment of LIC and etc. And then we immediately switch over to the Aditya sir. And I'm really thankful to Aditya sir. He really proved that what a difference between information given by a policy holder and education by the teacher. He clearly showed this demarcation. And to give a lecture by the commerce tutor and explaining everything in such an easy way to the non-commerce student without a figure of formula, and really we are really thankful to you, and especially you starting with the karma theory. And I always see that in the Indian perspective, everybody start from the Gita of karma, and really enjoying this and clearing the many things about the many views or many things, especially what are the problem, what are the thinking, what are the background we have to clear before go for any investment or any for the financial security. You also said that nowadays, especially in the background of COVID-19, how a trusted institution like WHO lost their trust due to some act. How to secure, investment should be secure. Do you start with the medical coverage? At least one should have one must have at least one medical coverage, medical policy, whether it is small or it is a large, depend on one's budget or one's financial resources. Second, every time the investment has the two phases. First, it gives the tax benefit, and second, from the you get the medical claim. As we can see nowadays, medical insurance is very essential for everyone in such a healthy environment. then you also should throw some light on the post-retirement, especially it is very important for the average or especially the madhyam vargiya parivar. It is very important for that. Nowadays we can see jokes is rotated that higher strata have not to worry about that. Lower is used to suffer every time all burden come to the lower income families. So the whole this lecture on insurance and financial security, it is very important for the ये मध्यम वर्गीय परिवार, low income or below average or above average families. Post retirement also a very important aspect for us. You also say that whatever shown by the government, whatever shown by the policy holder is not in such a way. We have to go what is the play behind those things. Also, you clear us about the three difference EEE, IIT, and ETE. As we are now from the non-commerce background, so we are not aware from that. But you give us such a wonderful example, and everybody knows that by example, everything can be clear without going through a complex equations or complex explanation. And then at last, you go for the deposit scheme, and really appreciating for covering all the answer, all the question asked by the participant, wonderfully explained, and some a simple question as well as the question demands good insight. And you clearly show what a difference between information provided by the policy holder and the education given by the teacher. That's why world always required teacher. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. And at last, I really, Jha sir, before this session, Jha sir really give talks about you, and you really prove, and we all have admiration for you. And now
Last word from my side.
Definitely. Definitely. That's why I'm saying there are some simple questions which we can grasp, but there are some which really required a thoughtful or educated insight. Question asked by Tushar and the Manju ma'am, Manju auntie. That's why thank you to sir, and thank you for all participants who participated and made this webinar so successful, and the question asked by the participant. And I am thank our principal sir. He always encourages, always be happy, encourages us be happy whatever the step we take in the sake of our college, in the sake for academic environment. He always encourages us, trust on us. Thank you, principal sir. And always it is Jha sir under whose guidance we are performing or we successfully conduct whatever the task or program given to us. And not but the least, our all team behind us, our all colleagues who really play a hard work behind this all session. Thanks to all participants, thanks to all, and thanks to Adit sir. Definitely. Thank you, sir. Now we are going to end this session.
Just a word. Just a word. Aditya, are you listening me? Aditya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Aditya.
Yes, I can listen.
हाँ sir, audible. बोलिए.
Yeah, I think you should be thankful to me. I think this is your first-hand experience with the state of Bihar. Am I right?
Yes, you can say it is the first webinar in the state of Bihar. Although recently I have delivered lecture in Jharkhand.
But Jharkhand is not Bihar. A long time back it has separated from us.
Credit goes to you that I have came to Bihar. Yes. Thank you.
थोड़ा सा हम लोग थैंक्सगिविंग हो चुका है, लेकिन हमारे प्रिंसिपल सर स्पेशली तुमको थैंक्स बोलना चाहते हैं, इसलिए थोड़ा हम लोग लीक से हट के जा रहे हैं.
हेलो
सर
पाटिल जी, आप कॉमर्स के टीचर हैं. संजोग से इस कुर्सी पर रहते हुए मैं भी कॉमर्स का विद्यार्थी रहा हूँ. तो आपने बहुत बढ़िया हर पॉइंट को कवर किया, नीड के आधार पर, रीडिफाइनिंग के आधार पर, और जो सोसाइटी को नीड है खास करके आज के लाइफ पॉलिसी के बारे में, जनरल पॉलिसी के बारे में, पेंशन स्कीम्स के बारे में, टैक्स डिडक्शंस के बारे में आपने हर तरह से इसको एलोबोरेट किया और कहीं से मैं समझता हूँ कि कोई कमी नहीं है। और हमारे सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स मैं स्क्रीन पर देख रहा हूँ कि उन्होंने इस वेबिनार के लिए थैंक्स किया है, स्पेशली आपके लिए। तो अंत में मैं चाहूंगा कि आपको मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई दूं, धन्यवाद के साथ कि आपने बहुत कीमती समय हम लोगों को दिया, हमारे कॉलेज को दिया। और पहले ही मैंने झा जी को क्रेडिट दिया है कि झा जी हमें से हमारे कॉलेज में अपने हमारे जितने कलीग्स हैं सारे इनर्जेटिक लोग हैं और हमें से एकेडमिक वर्क में लगे रहते हैं। और झा जी के बारे में बता दूं, झा जी नॉट ओनली coordinator of IQAC, but he is also secretary of Teacher Association of Aries College Bar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, one last remark. Sir, one last remark that before starting this session, when Jha sir give introduction about you, we are thinking that how a lecture on commerce, we think that 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes is more than sufficient for a lecture of commerce to the non-commerce student. But you really proved that you made this that the 3 hour even less for this. And you can even stretch this for the whole day.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you. And thanks for coming.
Thank you. And hoping that if you have a time and we calling next time, you definitely give us such appreciate.
Thank you.
You appreciate time to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. And feedback form available to all. Please fill.
Thank you.
We will rotating feedback from after some time. Thank you. I'm going to end this session. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you to all. Thank you to all.
Namaskar. Namaskar to everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.